Hi, I'm Liv Long, founder and CEO of SMSF AI, and today I have Jerome Dadon from MESFI. Welcome, Jerome.
Thanks, Olivia. Nice to be here.
It's great. So why don't we start? One of the key benefits of running an SMSF is that investors get access to investment opportunities that other super funds don't. So tell us all about MESFI Fund 1 and why it's such a good investment opportunity.
Well, MESFI Fund 1 is it's a brand new mezzanine finance vehicle. Mezzanine finance, for those who don't know, is second mortgage loans for a variety of uses, in our case, real estate. And generally speaking, these kinds of deals are only available to high net worth individuals, people who have more than $500,000 or so to invest in one individual deal. And MESFI Fund 1, we're not on platform. We're not available to normal super funds. And so as an SMSF trustee, being able to access the kinds of deals that we have through our fund is a unique thing.
So what type of returns are we talking over what period and how are they generally distributed?
So the returns that we target for our fund, it's 9 to 13% net of fees, target returns for the fund. Our first fund, MESFI Fund 1, is a 3-year closed-ended fund, and the distributions are done on a maturity basis. And what I mean by that is, so we're a pooled fund. We invest in a number of different deals on your behalf as a trustee. And as each and every one of those deals matures, they're capitalized loans. And so we'll distribute your returns at that point. Your capital's reinvested until the end of that 3 years.
Okay, so can you access your funds within the 3-year period or not? It's fully invested and then you get the capital and the distributions at the end?
So the distributions come along the way as each of the deals matures. So some of the deals might be 6 months. We're looking at a deal at the moment that's a 6-month deal. Funds will be returned after 6 months. So that's a distribution after 6 months. But the capital will be reinvested until the end of the 3 years. So you'll receive distributions along the way. But then at the end of the 3 years, you'll receive your capital back. You'll be able to do another investment with us, hopefully, or whatever else takes your fancy.
So what type of SMSF trustees are you generally do you see, like in retirees or younger generation? Type of SMSF trustees are you generally do you see, like in retirees or younger generation, or a bit of everything?
I think it's split between the two that you mentioned. So, MESFI is quite a unique product and quite a technologically forward product. We use blockchain as part of our product, and so we thought coming into market that it would be a lot of younger people who would be interested, but actually the feedback that I've had from our YouTube channel, in terms of people who have signed up as on our website, there's actually quite a lot of retirees and people who are, they have that nest egg, they're looking to invest, and they're looking for alternative options. So I'd say it's split between that. It's the younger SMSF trustees that are coming on, and also the older ones who have been investing for a long period of time and are looking for alternative options.
Diversification maybe as well.
That's it, exactly. I think diversification is key. I mean, I know you're super keen on crypto in SMSFs, and I think crypto is just it's another alternative that people may or may not have understood how they could access with their SMSF, and mezz financing I think is another one where I think it's like these are deals that maybe as a normal investor you may not necessarily be drawn to, because what we've found in the market is that a lot of people are hurting at the moment. It's quite a tough time for everyone with high inflation, high interest rates. But as an SMSF trustee and with super, it's almost a benefit that this is money that's specifically for investing. And so you can look at other, you have the luxury, so to speak, maybe that's a bad word, but you have the luxury of being able to take your time, not worry about whether that money is going to be needed for a mortgage or needed for for groceries. It's purely for investing, and so you can really make the best financial decisions for yourself. And there's as you know, there are many more options that keep coming into the market.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're saying you're targeting returns above 9%, and we're looking at average. We're looking at APRA statistics that indicate that the fund managers are returning 5.3% on an annualized basis over the 5 years. This was to 30 June 2023. So that you're almost already double what the experts are doing in traditional super funds. Like that's amazing.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, I have to caveat by saying that it's a high-risk product. So, you have to know that as a trustee. Obviously, we recommend everyone do take their own financial, legal, tax advice before they invest in the fund. But it is a high-risk product. So, a normal super fund, if you go and you have the boxes that you tick, if you want to put it in the high-risk portion, that's more akin to what the MESFI Fund 1 is. And so you'd have to look at what those returns are. The thing about mezzanine finance is that, typically speaking, the reason it's an attractive investment option is because it's equity-like returns, but still having security as though it's debt. So that's why Mez sort of sits in the middle and can actually appeal to both ways.
So I suppose, how would you say that you're offering SMSFs more flexibility? Is it by making it more available for the retail investor?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I mean, so it's just about options, isn't it, at the end of the day? So the traditional mez debt providers, the private capital, private debt providers, SMSFs, SMSF trustees would potentially have to put a very large chunk of their balance into one deal in order to have access and to be able to have exposure to those kinds of things. So by being able to fractionalize the investments in these kind of opportunities, we're giving SMSF trustees the ability to diversify and keep a satellite exposure potentially in mez debt, and then also look at equities, bonds, stocks. Equities and stocks are the same thing, but crypto, Bitcoin, so it's just about the flexibility of diversification, really.
Yeah, absolutely. So Jerome, do you want to tell us a little bit about what the advantages are and a little bit more about that blockchain technology, which I'm finding fascinating?
Yeah, so look, the advantages of mez financing, as I said before, the key one is the security that underpins what we do. Having second mortgages on everything means that if there is something that goes wrong with the deal, and you have to know, whenever you're investing, you look at your downside risk, as everybody knows, and that's why mez financing, the advantage is you do have that second mortgage. And so if something does go wrong with the deal, there are options. You can take take ownership of the property, of the development, and manage that out. Make sure you're still able to potentially get your returns, your capital back. So that's a big advantage of mez financing. And in terms of advantages of what we do at MESFI with blockchain, transparency is the number one, because I think, for anyone that's invested in funds before, you get a quarterly report, and it sort of tells you a bit about how your portfolio is doing, but how much do you actually know about the individual investments that managers are making on your behalf? With MESFI, we put everything on chain. And so if you are to have your tokens, or which, you receive as part of your investment, and you're to look at your tokens, you can see all of the individual deals that we've made on your behalf, when they were made, the target IRR is for it, what the security is, what the LVR is. And so that kind of transparency is a new thing for funds. And so I think that's
amazing technology. But so how, as a trustee, how would I access those tokens? How does that all work? Break it down.
As a trustee, you'll have a digital wallet on your, on our platform. You receive one as you sign up. There's a sign-in flow for individuals, and there's a sign-in flow for trustees, for SMSFs. And your account on the MESFI website would create a proprietary digital wallet through a company called Magic Wallet. It's a non-custodial wallet, so it's owned by the trustee. And so on our website, you'd be able to see and hold those tokens in that wallet, and then transfer them if you were. So it's a non-transferable product as a rule, but you can contact us to transfer those if you do want to sell them to someone else, and you'd be able to transfer them from that wallet in time in that way as well.
Okay, that's amazing. Interesting. I hadn't heard of that before. Outside of digital assets and crypto, so it's very it's quite novel.
I mean, it's a new product, and the tokens that you do receive as a trustee, they have two reasons for existence, raison d'être, for lack of a better word. The first is that transparency, and the second is digital artwork. And so you do own a limited edition piece of art with each token that you purchase, and that's yours through the end of the fund as well. Even when you receive your distributions, that token has a piece of limited edition digital art by a very famous digital artist by the name of Justin Maller, who is an old friend of mine and an OG in the NFT and art world. So
wow, it's very cool. Very that's an unusual bonus at the end.
It is, it's different, but I think fundamentally the reasons that people will invest come down to the fundamentals of the product.
The actual product, So what would you say is unique to your fund specifically, and what are your key selling points for trustees like me looking to invest?
Well, I think a really key point that I've sort of mentioned before, and I'll hammer home again, is diversification. And it's important to diversify not only across different investment classes, but I think within an investment strategy, you also need to be well diversified. And MezFi Fund 1 ticks a lot of boxes for that. We have a great investment due diligence board. It's myself and two other long-term investment professionals, Jim Hardy, who's a 40-year banker with basically every bank in Australia, and Daniel Berner, who's a 20-year property developer. And between the three of us, we comb through all of the different deals that we have on the table. Now, we're what's called a fund of funds. So we go out to most of the fund managers in the private debt space in Australia, and we canvass their deals. So we syndicate deals, and we get access to other managers' deals that they write. And so we're diversified across fund manager, number one. And then number two, we're diversified across geolocation. We do deals in the UK. We also do it all over Australia, in all capital cities. And then we're diversified across industry because we do retail, we do residential, we do industrial, we do commercial. We make sure to be diversified across all of these different parameters to make sure that your returns are as diversified as possible.
Yeah, sounds like it. As a layperson, if I was to want to find out more from this point, where do I go? What do I do?
Well, the website is always the best port of call, www.mesfi.com. There's a walkthrough video on how to invest, but I'm sure that people will have more questions. And so on the website, on the contact us page, you can book a time with me to sit down and have a one-on-one chat. We've got our contact number on the website and my email address, or the investment team's email address as well as our YouTube page, where you can go through and look at all different manner of so we've done a number of interviews with either service providers from MESFI, as well as people in the blockchain and investment space that discuss different things and that are related to what we do, as well as other sort of related topics as well.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, well, Jerome, thank you for your time today. I look forward to seeing you at Oz CryptoCon later in the year.
Absolutely, I'll be there, and we've exhibited for 2 years now. Caught up with Matt Eade from Oz Crypto the other day, and we've committed to exhibiting again. So yeah, I hope to see you there too, Olivia.
Yep,
exhibiting.
We'll be there. We're exhibiting, so we'll make sure we stop by and say hello.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
All right, great. Thanks so much for having us.